So let's get it going. We're here at episode 3, Jack Moves Pod. We're here with K-Suave.
K-Suave, the one and only, Mr. Mott. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good,
man.
to
be here.
Yeah, man. We in Jersey and Hackensack. Good to be here. We're here to hear about you, man. We're here to hear about K-Suave.
Yeah. I'm an open book.
Because
what would you like to know?
My co-host over here, he was telling me last week, like, bro, this guy has the best stories, the funniest stories in the whole world. So I said, let's do this.
You know what? I was thinking that also. I'm going to write a book. I think I should write a book about my adventures in life. Yes.
Well, make sure you tell some of them on this podcast. Right?
Okay.
What
absolutely.
Let me
I
start.
got it. Go ahead.
Let me start with how this whole this whole positive energy came together. Suave and I, we went out recently, and we were talking among some of our friends, and he said he told us about a story about going on a date with this girl for the first time, and how what he showed up wearing, and it blew my mind because I
want to hear this story.
What the hell he was thinking? But please tell us about that story.
All right. It wasn't a first date.
Okay.
I dated this girl. I met her in March of that year. So when December came around, I like to play Santa Claus at the job. I played Santa Claus for the kids.
Right.
So I love the kids.
I love the kids. So we went out to this mall, and I had on my Santa Claus jacket, not the whole attire, but the jacket, the hat, and she thought I was crazy.
Now, you had to see the jacket and the hat that he wears. First of all, before you fit...
So wait a minute, this is a girl you've dated before?
No, this is a girl I dated, but we started dating in March of that year.
And now it's December.
This was December. Mm-hmm. Now, this is a couple of years ago, because I've dated a few young ladies.
Yeah.
And
quite a few.
Yes, quite a few.
That's why his name is K-Swizzy.
And December, when we were going to the mall, I came out with my Santa outfit. She was a little shocked by it.
How shocked? Like she ran?
No, she didn't run, but she walked like 5 feet ahead of me. She didn't want to walk next to me.
Yeah.
She was a little shocked.
How did you feel about that?
You know what? I was surprised because that's normal to me. I always say, as Jay-Z would say, I'm cut from a different cloth.
Yeah.
And I am, so...
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Santa Claus, yeah. I'm a little different.
Hey, you know what?
But after dating for a few years, she understood, so she was more accepting the following Christmas.
To piggyback on that, of the Santa Claus outfit, so I've known Suave for probably a little bit over 15 years. Probably maybe longer, right? But I've known her for a long time, and nothing surprises me with Suave, right? So one day, I used to promote parties, and Suave, he's always a great time. No matter what he's wearing, it's just a great time with Suave. But he showed up to a club. That's different. You go on a date with somebody, but he showed up to a club with the Santa Claus outfit on.
Same one? You like this outfit?
Same one, yes.
Same one.
Love it.
Bro, he's at my... So you thinking, honestly, you would think, oh, God, he's going to make us look crazy in the club, right? Everybody had their eyes on Suave. Like, they was throwing drinks out.
When was this party? Was it during the holidays? Or?
It was during the holidays. It was,
yeah.
I think we was doing, prior to that, we went to a couple of Christmas parties. This was way back, though. This was a while back. I knew Suave. It doesn't surprise me that he did that on the date.
Right.
Because it must have happened after I've seen you do it before.
Oh, yeah, because you have to remember, you're in December. That's the month I was born, December 1st. Yeah. By the way, Sagittarius is in the building. Christmas, my favorite holiday. So the whole month of December is a big party for me.
The whole
like
month.
Every day is a party.
Yeah.
So I have my Santa outfit, and girls love Santa Claus. Great way to meet women.
You got a bag of gifts.
Oh, yeah. And they always, they want to sit in your lap. Santa, what you got for me? And I said, well, sit in my lap.
Yeah, man.
Have you been naughty or nice?
Yeah. So listen. One of the most interesting things when we was talking about having you as a guest, we want to hear about your sister. I want to hear about who she went to the prom with, that everybody in the whole entire world knows And the first time I heard this story, I was like, yeah, sure. But you've got photo evidence and all of that, right?
Yes,
but
sir.
Anyway, but let's back up. Can you tell me about your sister and who she went to the prom with?
Okay. Well, let me just give you a backstory of how it all happened.
Right.
5 sisters, 2 brothers, so it's 8 of us. So when my mom and dad got divorced, my sister decided to live down south,
Okay.
North Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina. So we all stayed in New York, and she ended up going to the prom with the greatest ball player of all time and won
LeBron
Michael
James?
Jordan.
LeBron
No,
James.
Michael Jordan.
Oh, I thought you meant LeBron James.
I was only kidding.
No,
wasn't.
LeBron James is 1B. Michael Jordan's 1A.
So your
Mount
sister went to the
Rushmore.
prom with Michael Jordan.
Yes, sir. The greatest ball player
it
of all
wasn't one
time.
of those. It wasn't those. Make a wish. Not make a wish, but
No.
one of those celebrity requests. He wasn't a
So
celebrity.
this
at that
is-
time.
No, he wasn't. Remember, he got cut from the varsity team in high school.
This was in his prom or her prom? Like,
This was in their prom. They both were in the same grade.
In high school. So
High
Laney
school.
High School
Yeah.
in Wilmington, North Carolina. That's why I was born in Wilmington.
Oh, I didn't know that,
my
John.
know that
my sister went to Laney High School.
Oh,
How old's your sister?
my sister should be 59. Jordan just turned 60, so she's about 59.
My sister's a couple years younger than that, but they
Yeah.
probably seen each other before. I don't know. Wilmington, North Carolina is not that big.
Jordan just turned 60, by the way, I think on
50, yeah.
Wednesday.
Was it?
So here's my question:
Yes, sir.
what the hell happened?
Oh,
How did your sister?
First, point to the camera. Show the camera what you got. Show the people what you got, so we don't. So nobody think he lying.
here's the picture
Can we get a zoom in on that picture,
of
please?
the prom shot.
That
Of
is
the prom picture.
the greatest of all time,
The greatest of all time, yes.
Michael Jordan.
Ooh, that's gonna be worth.
With my sister
It ain't
Shantae.
already worth a lot of money already, brother.
So they didn't have a relationship. They just
Now, since I'm in the clothing business,
we were going to talk about that.
I had one of the clothing guys put this picture on a T-shirt. I had 2 T-shirts, and underneath of the T-shirt, one said, "My sister blew it," and the other one said, "If only she had put out." Woo! I could have been Michael's personal assistant
So
for, I don't know, $1 million.
so how'd you become a Knick fan?
Born and raised, New York
Okay.
City.
You should have switched over for that.
No, I don't think they knew that Mike was gonna be Mike at that time.
No. We didn't. Nobody
Of
knew.
course not. I'm not just messing with you.
Nobody
Just
knew.
messing with you. So that's interesting, man. But the clothing.
Yes, sir.
Tell us who you work with, who you working with now. Tell us about the clothing.
Well, I've been in the clothing business for a very long time. I used to work for a company called Nautica for 19 years.
We're talking about in corporate.
Corporate, yes.
We're not talking retail.
Not retail, corporate.
Yeah.
Corporate. Where all the great ideas come from. Then I worked with John Varvatos
Okay.
for 6 years.
Infamous John Varvatos.
Yes, another clothing company.
Have a couple of shoes.
And the last 6 years I've been doing my own thing.
Right. Tell us about that.
Well, I'm more of what you call in the trade a jobber, a middleman.
Okay.
I deal with closeout goods. Like if Nautica has things that they don't want to sell for next year, they want to get rid of it, they'll call me to get rid of their bulk items.
Right.
T-shirts, jeans, could be anything.
Okay.
Clothing's like cars. When Ford has new cars that they want to sell, they want to get rid of the old ones. So they'll charge less just to get it out of inventory.
So what do you do with the clothing? You take it and sell it to.
I'll take the clothing and I'll sell it to a third party. Usually people in the South,
Okay.
they love clothing from New York.
Yeah.
They love all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a big market, or is this something that you are? It's like very few people that actually know how to do this and do it.
It's very few. There's not a lot of people involved. I shouldn't tell the secrets because more people will want to get involved. That would cut down on my bottom line.
Did you,
You gotta worry about that paper, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's important.
did you work directly with? You said you used to work with John Varvatos. You worked directly with him.
I worked directly with John, and to this day, the most talented designer
Right.
I've ever met. The man's detail, his eye for detail, is unbelievable.
Yeah. You got any interesting stories with John Varvatos?
I do. When I worked for John, I was in operations, so it was my job to take care of all the hires in terms of contractors, electricians, plumbers. So we had a new floor. So our design team was on the 6th floor. They were moving up to the 11th floor, brand new space. So we had everybody moved. There was about, I don't know, probably about 50 people on that floor. And John says to me one day, he says, K, he used to call me K, the lighting looks a little off. Now, okay, he said, yeah, those lights look about 5 inches too far to the right. Now, most people would notice something like that. So I said, okay, John, I'll talk to the architect. So the next day I called the architect. He came up to see us. Sure enough, the lights were 5 inches to the right.
And he saw that.
John noticed that. So what we had to do was we had to move in sections. We had to move 25 people back to 6. The people who, the lights here, we had to get repaired. And then we had to move them back up. And the other side, we had to move them down. So it was a very expensive, costly mistake on the architect's part. And John made sure that we didn't have to pay for it.
Detail.
Never seen anybody with his eye.
Yeah.
Most people wouldn't notice that.
Is there any moment, because that's obviously, we always remember the positive moments. Is there any moment where you had with John where you probably didn't agree with him, or you guys had like had to put him in place probably,
Well, you got to remember, John's the boss.
Right.
But there were things, I'm saying to myself, $10,000 for a couch? Like,
For one couch?
one couch, $10,000. So that's not my place. That's this CFO's place.
Right.
To say, hey, John, we're spending too much money. It's not my
He's
place.
a big spender.
Yeah, that's above your
Very
pay
big
grade.
spender.
For that to have opinions on that, that's above your pay grade.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
So tell us some stories, man. GC said, listen, man, Suave's gonna come here and make us fucking laugh. I have something I remember
Go ahead,
from
please.
the K-Suave adventures.
Yes, sir.
We had a cookout for one of our good friends for his birthday, and we went to the Western Beef, bought hundreds of dollars worth of shit for the grill, everything we need, liquor, people smoking weed, every possible thing you could need to have the best cookout ever.
Yeah.
Suave, all right, we ready. We got everything. Yeah, he said, all right, bring the grill. Suave says, I ain't got no grill. So we got everything that you need. And Suave forgot the grill. You don't remember that?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't forget. I didn't forget the grill. That wasn't my responsibility.
Yes.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Bro, it was your responsibility.
It wasn't my responsibility.
All
You
right,
know,
so give us
I'm
your
doing
perspective of what it was.
I'm doing everything. I'm getting the tables, the chairs, the food. I'm doing everything.
We was in Western Beach getting the food.
Yeah, we
No,
got
but I got
everything.
the tables, the chair. Remember all those tables out there? Where do you think they came from?
What
The
does that have to do
chairs.
with the grill? You was appointed to have the grill. Both
No, that wasn't my
There was zero-
responsibility.
there
That
was
was
zero
somebody
grills.
else's. That was somebody else's responsibility.
I remember.
I will not name names,
I
but
remember it being your responsibility.
that wasn't my response. I would have been on point. I'm on point with what I do. Come
all
on,
the time.
I'm on point with what I do.
Not all the time.
99.9% of the time, I'm on point. I was supposed to be here 5:30. I got here 5:15. Couldn't find a parking spot, but
It's snowing outside.
Yeah, but I got here
It's
on
snowing
time.
outside.
What you got going on over here, man?
Yeah, what's this?
What's this?
What's
Oh,
got
I
down?
just put down a list of things.
So pull something out. What
Oh,
you got? What you got
I was
on
just
there, man?
I just put
You came
down
prepared.
what makes a man, the quality, because I consider myself a man's man.
Okay. And
Well.
what is that? What is that?
And a man's
What is
man,
a man's
You
man?
Suave, you have the floor.
Yes.
a man's man, I consider 5 qualities. Number 1, he loves sports. Number 2, he likes to throw them back once in a while.
You like to what?
Throw them back, have a cocktail, have a
okay,
drink
okay,
once in a
okay.
while. Number 3, he likes a meaty steak once in a while. A man's man is loud.
Hello.
That I am. And a man's man, most importantly, fellas, a man's man loves himself some pussy. Oh, can I say that? Can I say that?
This is an explicit show. You're good.
Oh, a man's man loves pussy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my God.
So
not
that's it.
feeling quite like it. That's a man's man.
That's a man's man.
That's a man's man.
That's a
Okay.
man's man.
You agree
So,
with
ladies, if you're not dealing with a man's man,
Come see K-Suave.
come see K-Suave.
Yo.
Because I'm single and
How you
looking to
feel? How you
mingle.
feel about that? Is that a man's man?
Well, in my world, that would.
I think some people might disagree.
I wouldn't agree with it in my. I wouldn't agree with it in my world because I don't live a single life.
Oh, yeah, you're different.
So living a
Yes.
single life, those are things that are quite. I don't want to say important, but those are highlights of your life where you get a drink, you go hang out with your boys, watch some sports. These are things that you guys do. A man's man for me starts with taking care of the home.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So first you got to take care of your home. All the other extra stuff comes super later, right? And you have to also set an example for if you have children, for your children.
I don't have any
And you
ladies.
don't have any.
No.
So I haven't thought about my top
Man,
5.
the man's man for a single man and a man's man for a married man with children is two
With children,
different lists.
It's definitely 2 different things. But the thing about the man's man for me, and sewing in how you also look at it is, I enjoy
Whatever.
I enjoy what you like in your top 5 even more because I'm taking care of what I've done in my top 5. So your top 5 is attainable for me after I take care of my top 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except for the part where love some pussy. I don't even love my white pussy. That was it.
Let's not get ourselves in trouble over
You
here.
know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But everything else, of course, I agree. And that's one of the things about you that I'm that I gravitate to. You know what I'm saying? Because you make me remember like, hey, it's okay to like still be a fucking nigga sometimes, right? And excuse my words with the nigga part, but as far as just being a man and enjoying yourself with your fellas, having a drink, kicking back, talking about sports, because you know how most women think when you hanging out with your boys, all you talking about is pussy all day. No, we be talking about regular shit too.
Absolutely.
All the time, probably
Absolutely.
more so than we
Politics.
talk about the women, right? Politics, money. I talk about money.
Finances.
Finances.
Well, you guys met in Metro North in Harlem. Is that where you guys met?
Yeah, let me tell you how I met.
Because these
Suave.
guys are
Let me tell you how I
good
met
friends
Suave,
long before
right?
me.
So I have a longtime friend of mine named Stretch. Shout out to Stretch. I haven't seen him in a while, but shout out to Stretch.
Shout out Stretch. What up, Stretch?
What up, Stretch Moolah?
And I've known Stretch. We all grew up in the same neighborhood,
East Harlem.
East Harlem, First Avenue, Metro North. And Suave, Stretch, me and Stretch was hanging out one night, and he was like, "Yo, I'm waiting for my boy Suave. This dude funny as hell. When he gets here, just watch. I'm not even gonna explain. Just watch when you see him." So Suave pulls up in a yellow cab with this pretty girl on his arm, and he come in. He got a suit on, and he's suave. He's moving in his way, and he walked upstairs. He said what's up to us. Went upstairs with the girl. I said, "Yo, bro, who that?" B? Like, that's my man Suave. That nigga be getting bitches. I said, "Word." I was like, "All right, I'll fuck with that nigga. I'll fuck with him." So ever since then, he would invite Suave out to places, and I'll be with Suave. And ever since, like, I didn't even need Stretch no more. Like, I built my own personal relationship with him that has gotten better every year. So,
Yeah.
and on top of that, let me tell you a little bit about Suave. So, with all the jokes aside, as a man, this is one of the best men as a man that I've ever encountered. You know, I live in Jersey, and Suave, without me asking, without me reminding him, he'll go and check on my mom's. My mom loves Bailey's liquor. He'll bring her Bailey's. My grandmother loves whatever liquor she likes.
Patron. Patron all day.
See, Patron. See, you know better than me. And he'll go visit my and just kick it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he won't even call me and say he did it.
Yeah,
it's not like, yo, let me tell him what I did. My mom would tell me, K-Suave stopped by, he brought me a Bailey's and this and that, grandma. Everybody feel good. So, you know, you gotta love people like that. You gotta do whatever you can. You gotta bend backwards for people like Suave, because he will do the same for you. So I didn't mean to get too, you know, mushy about it, but you're a good dude. I love him. Great friend. I'll never want to change my friendship with you.
Calvin, you like this guy like that too?
Yeah, he's a brother to me, man. Like I always say, it's guys like K-Suave come around once every 100 years, which means you will never see another guy quite like him in your lifetime.
Oh, hey,
Because not many people
like
see 100. So
Right.
think about it.
So you believe that?
That's a K-Suavism, by the way.
What's K-Suavism? What is that?
It's like an adage, but it's my old wise saying. Like,
The way you say things.
yeah.
You need a lot of those with the teams you support. I'm looking at.
Yo, but this is a different sport.
Let the cameras see.
We got the Knicks. We got my Mets. Watch out for the Mets. And we got my Giants.
Now, having a look.
Wait, who is this? JPP?
Oh yeah, this was JPP winning the Super Bowl, so I had to pay him some respect by wearing his jersey.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm a guy that, you know, I like to dress nice, you know, and I noticed that the clothing that you have on looks pretty vintage. If I could use better words than what's the real words I want to use.
Vintage shit seems good.
So is there a reason why it's almost like the jersey looks like Paul Pierre took it off and gave it to you after the game, and you ain't never put it in the washing machine? So is that something where, you know, some people do that. Some people, like, they'll get memorabilia and never wash and never touch it, never do anything. Is that something that you've done? Is that something?
What are you saying here? You saying you got a dirty shirt on, bro?
I don't mean it in that way, but
No, but
it could be a shirt that was given to him from the
no, this is what I do. I have a Giants jersey with Eli Manning's signature on it, and I wear it football season every Sunday. Now I put it in the cleaners a week or two before the season starts. I don't wash it until after football season is over. So if it gets stains, people, it's bad luck. Bad luck.
We have a diehard fan here
Bad luck, yes.
this year. The Mets, the fucking Knicks.
The Mets.
The Knicks are alright.
The Mets are going to make it to the World Series against the Yankees.
Okay.
I already got money on that. Mets and Yankees World Series.
You lose so much money, Suave.
That's all right.
Why do you lose, yo, bro? Why do you do that? Why do you lose so much money?
Because it's gambling.
I introduced this dude.
Gambling.
Yo, bro, I introduced this dude to my boy that I used to work with, right? From the first time they bet each other, bro, they haven't stopped betting. It's been what, over 8 years probably, maybe 5, 6.
5, 6 years.
5, 6 years. Who's up over 5? Who's up? If you could put a number, right? So my boy, shout out to my boy Frank. Who's up? If you could put a number on how much you paid Frank in bets.
You guys
in
bet
5,
big?
bro.
Yeah, I just had to pay Frank. As a matter of fact, we went out to City Island last week Friday, cause the loser buys the winner dinner at Sammy's. So I had to give Frank $1,900.
Super Bowl?
This is not only the Super Bowl, but we picked teams throughout the year.
I definitely like the way y'all
And
bet.
he had Tampa Bay and Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
Well, what are the picks? Well,
And he had his third pick was San Francisco. I had Baltimore, Seattle, and the Saints.
Oh,
So
you
my
saw
3
those.
teams didn't even make it.
Yeah.
And then I rode another 500 on Green Bay beating Tampa Bay. I lost that. So that was 1,500 that I lost. So, but don't worry. I'll
So
get
my
them back in
question was,
baseball.
if you can guesstimate how much you've had to pay out to Frank since I introduced you to that man, how much have you paid off to that man?
I don't know. A few $1,000s, but
Few thousand. You just paid him $2,000.
I know, a few.
It's definitely over 10 grand.
Maybe he doesn't want to tell you.
no, I don't. No.
Maybe he doesn't want to tell
No.
you.
Maybe no.
That should have made you.
Because
win
you
that
got
job every
you
time,
got you
man.
got to remember Frank's also lost to me as well.
All right, so who's up? Who's
Frank's up, definitely Frank. He's up.
Definitely. Oh,
Yeah,
so
he's definitely up.
That's what Frank does, man. He's not the only person that he does.
He's a good gambler.
Yeah,
I'm usually a good gambler too, but Frank is pretty good.
Here's another interesting thing that I want to talk about with you, Suave, because we talked about it in the car the other day. Is, first of all, much blessings to your mom. I know Suave is big.
87 years young.
87 years young. Wow.
88 May 2nd.
She's a Taurus, just like
Taurus the bull.
Day after my grandma.
Grandma's May 3rd. Yes.
May 1st. My grandma's May 1st. Your mother's May 2nd. Your mom's May 2nd.
Oh yeah, your mom's. That's right. May 1st. Yes.
May 1st. So I remember that. I do remember that. But your mom recently, if you don't mind me mentioning, that she took a COVID test. And I know you was really happy about that. So explain why you were happy, and for people that may not want to take the COVID, why would you encourage that they do?
Well, first of all,
Vaccine.
she took the vaccine 2 weeks ago. She gets the second one March 5th, the Pfizer one. And I'm encouraged because people have to realize the government wouldn't put their best doctors and their best nurses at risk getting this shot if it weren't safe. Think about it. We have the best nurses and doctors in the world. Why would the government do something to damage that? It doesn't make sense.
I think there's a lot more than risking the doctors that can be more detrimental to the government if they were to. Here's my thing. So I look at the vaccine as, obviously, I believe that the intent is to save our species, pretty much, right? But right, but I also I'm reluctant because of the age of it, and obviously this is unprecedented times for America at least, right? And as far as the vaccine being produced within 6 to 8 months, being shipped out, and in ways where, as far as the structure of it being delivered and who's handling it, it's times that nobody's ever experienced, right? So for me, I'm almost ignorant. I'm ignorant, obviously, to what is really in this vaccine and everything. Anyway, I need to research more on that. But I just have reluctance because of the speed of it being produced and the effects that we don't know are going to come behind it.
So you wouldn't take, when your time comes, because according to President Biden, by July, every American will be able to get the vaccine.
My mom had her vaccination today.
The first one.
Today.
How old is your mom?
My mom is 63.
How did she get it? 63? 63?
Put your phone on.
63?
Wait, what's
She's gotta be-
1953?
53 is 60. 53, 21, is 67, 68.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
She had to be
67.
older.
Yeah.
66, so 65 is probably the...
Yeah, 65, yes.
Yeah.
Right. So so here's my thing. It's not like I'm sitting here and I know what the flu shot has in it and all this other stuff, right? But just over time, what the effects of the flu shot is. It's either gonna help you or it's gonna make you a little sick, but it's obviously there to protect you from catching a severe cold or anything of that nature. Excuse me. But as far as the vaccine, there's nothing to base it from. There's no guinea pigs. There's nothing out there that can say, all right, people of this, that have this type of physical or internal, problems with their health, this is the reaction that they'll receive from it, or this is not the reaction. So I don't feel confident at this point yet with the vaccine, and I'm not the first person online. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely. So maybe your
I think
feelings
most
will
people
change
feel
come
like that,
July.
especially people that are our age and a little older, a little younger.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't jump online before if somebody I would let somebody else go way before me, right? Right now. That's just how I feel, right? Because for me to say, let me go do it just so I can say I have the vaccine, and there's people that are your mom's age, my grandmother's age, my mom's age, that I prefer, let them get it before I do. And it's not because I want to see the effects of it first from them, but what is being said is that the older people should have it first.
Well,
Absolutely.
that's how it is. Me, like people our age, we'll probably be the last ones that's eligible to even go get that shot. And what you said, in June, they're supposed to have it for everybody. But here's my thing.
July.
What if you don't have a choice whether to take it or not? Like if you don't take it, you can't go fly nowhere, can't do this, you can't
Go
do that.
you can't travel.
Like what about that? Because the flu vaccine is like the only place that's mandated is for like kids to go to school and stuff like that.
I'm not in a position where I'm like I would never take it, right? But I'm definitely in a position where I'm like, well, I ain't gonna say nothing until somebody say something to me. You know what I'm saying?
Like you ain't stressing it.
I'm not stressing it right now, So I don't discourage people from taking it. But if someone was to ask me, I would just say I'm just reluctant to it because of the process of how fast it was produced, and obviously it has to be produced fast because
of what happened.
But also the trials are not there. They're there, but they're not there for a long period of time.
It's what happened was this, like they just cut a lot of red tape because of the circumstances. Like if you're coming out with a random drug that you'll hope will help a small part of the population, right. It's like, it's not a rush.
Right.
Let's try it and try it and try it. But when it's something that's affecting the whole world, they cut a lot of red tape out.
So what do you think about there's certain countries, I can't remember which country it is, but there's a country that I think they've only, like after like the big boom of the pandemic, they've been able to manage the pandemic, and I think they have maybe 2 deaths.
You might be talking about New Zealand.
Is it New Zealand?
I think New Zealand is like.
So with no vaccine, not just
because they didn't have it. They didn't have their population didn't have a lot of people that got sick from it, so it didn't spread.
And not only
they isolated. People got it. They isolated. Boom. And
I'm sure they weren't letting people come into their country either.
And that's not hard to do in New Zealand. That shit is way in the South Pacific.
My question is, what happened to Russia and their vaccine? Weren't they getting a vaccine before us? Like, you don't hear anything?
You're not going to get any accurate news from Russia.
You don't hear anything about Russia and their vaccine?
They're not going to tell you, though. Why would they even?
They're poisoning. They be poisoning reporters, and you're not getting no accurate news out of it.
Well, Donald Line Chump, that's what I would call him. His man Putin. He couldn't do no wrong.
Yeah.
And you know why?
Bro, and I was talking
all them business deals they got.
In our prior podcast, Suave, we were discussing. One of our guests was mentioning that you don't hear a peep from that far right extremists. You don't hear them really talking much right now, right? But
shut down all their social media. They took all their pages down.
But the coverage that you do see of Donald Trump, he is saying we just getting started, and that's what I told the previous guest. I believe whether I don't believe they're gonna succeed in their efforts, but it was almost to the fact he's out of office, so it's over. It's not over. I feel like I think he got more leverage now because he's not tied to.
He doesn't listen. Only reason why he was able to do all this stuff is because of the power he had, bro.
Exactly.
The actual, not the influence, not the gravitas. I'm talking about the actual powers that he had as the president to do this and do that.
Right, but what has transitioned now is the power to influence, like you just said. The influence is the power is no longer necessary for Donald Trump. His influence is strong enough that give him power. It might not give him power,
but still, he's not the president anymore.
Of course, I agree,
so he got but it is surprising. He got 74 million votes.
What I'm saying is,
there are a lot of people who follow his ideology, which is scary.
Right, and it doesn't make him any lesser to them because he's not the president. And that's what I'm saying. When you mention power,
but they don't have a stage anymore. They don't have a stage anymore.
Exactly, they don't have that stage.
What I'm trying to tell you is the power is in the people he influences, right? So if they don't look at losing the presidency is a loss of power for them to him, he still has that power over them, right? The people that do stupid shit, that will go and start up insurrections or you know.
But that's not 70. But that's not 70. The 74 million who voted for him are not all extreme far right people.
Of course not. Of course, some of them are.
The majority of them are. The majority of the 74 million is probably just regular ass Republicans, conservatives. That's like, I'm not voting Democrat. I'm just gonna vote for this guy.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
And some people just like him just because they like him.
You like Biden?
I voted for Biden. Yes.
I think we all voted for Biden as a.
Yeah, we all voted, but you know what? I like his honesty. Like, I think that even if I didn't like the answer he gave, I thought it was honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was on a platform where he was speaking to a few regular citizens. They had an interview, a moderator and all this other stuff, and it was on CNN. And I think they asked him about relieving college loans, right? And right now the relief is at $10,000, right? So they were requesting that he set the relief at $50,000. And when she asked him the question, she said, "Will you agree to relieving $50,000?" And he said, "I will not." Immediately, that was his answer from the gate. I will not. Mm-hmm. Here's why I will. Here's why I wouldn't. He gave a great explanation, but I thought the honesty behind it, and that's what I'm looking for.
Absolutely, something different. Because Donald,
not that fucking run amok shit he was.
Donald lying chump. Every word out of his mouth was a lie.
It's a lie. Exactly.
The man was compulsive lying, and the media was starting to believe him. Like, this guy's lying.
The country's going back to a political normalcy.
Yes.
Relatively right now, but the world is still out of control, man.
Absolutely.
The weather's out of control. Remember, we talking about climate change on the last podcast?
A little bit.
Donald lying chump doesn't believe it.
Now look at Texas.
He doesn't believe in it.
Texas is...
Bro,
so
can we talk about Texas for a minute?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ted Cruz? Flying to Cancun?
No, if not given a...
What?
Oh, my God.
What?
Fuck was a person, bro. That nigga ain't give no fuck.
And then the backlash that he got.
But did you hear the excuse?
And he came right. His ass came right back.
Yo, you know what's so crazy? Somebody posted this. So he was in support of people. I mean, he was in support of building the wall, right? With Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. And the whole point of people coming to America is try to better their lives.
Yeah, to get away from a messed up situation.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing this motherfucker does is try to go to the same country
to fucking Mexico
that he's trying to stop from coming into our country.
Isn't that ironic?
And the purpose is because his children wanted to better their situation.
Exactly.
So
the irony.
The irony behind that. And then he says, he said, it didn't sit well with me when I was on the plane.
Oh, Lord, he's full
It
of
took
it.
you to get to the plane to sit. Well,
Oh.
yo, bro.
Would you have come back
He
if
blamed
nobody
his
saw
daughters.
you?
That was now. Let me tell you something.
Threw
Let me
his
tell you
daughters
something.
under the
Listen,
bus.
Let me tell you something. When we talked about the what's a man's,
Right, I didn't even think about that angle.
What's a
Like, you
man's-
threw your daughters
He
under
threw
the
his
bus.
daughters under the bus.
What's a man's man? That's not a man's man.
Oh, definitely
I wish I
not.
had a daughter, right?
Yeah, definitely
The
not
fact that
Ted
he threw
Cruz.
his daughter- I would never.
He's the same one that Trump was dissing his wife, and he didn't even defend his wife.
Yeah.
When Trump was talking shit about her.
Yeah.
But
That guy.
He threw his wife under the bus too.
Listen, he's a
'cause he could've
politician.
just said, listen, when they asked him, how did this come about? He could have just said, I made a decision, right? If I made a decision with my wife, John, right, to do something, and I'm talking to you, and the decision didn't go well, I'm not adding my wife into it to you. I'm gonna let you know, yo, bro, I just decided to do this. Between me and my wife, we know we decided together.
It's doubly
I'm not
wrong.
gonna fucking-
It's doubly wrong because
What do you
he's
mean?
he's a senator. He knows for a fact. I'm a
He knows
representative of this state. He knows for 1,000% fact he cannot go on no damn vacation with a state emergency going on.
Nigga said,
He knows that. His wife could go. His kids could go on vacation. He could have. I was talking to somebody. I was like, he could have sent his wife. He could have sent his daughters, and nobody would have got mad at that. But you cannot go. You will represent the state,
this
bro.
Nigga said,
It's hard to teach class.
It's very hard.
Very hard to
This
teach
nigga
class.
said-
Can't buy it.
Can't buy class.
Can't buy it.
It's hard to teach class.
He said that he said what the plan was for me to just go drop off my daughters. So
Yeah.
you took a plane
Just
Bro,
to do
how
that.
old is his daughters?
to drop.
Get the
I don't
fuck
even know
out
how
of
old
here.
they
They're
are.
old
No,
enough
but-
to fly.
But the
Yeah.
mother was going. What the
Yeah.
fuck you need to be there for?
That was his way of trying to backpedal.
So why you got the
Sugarcoat.
lie, Craig? Why you got the lie?
Yeah.
He can fire his PR. That's a
Yeah.
fact. But as far as Texas, bro, so I have a family member. Well, it's not a bloodline, but we grew up together. Who lives in Texas, and Texas, his house, I guess the house, the roofs are not built for heavy ass snow being on top of it.
Of course
His
not.
Whole, bro. So his attic is above his bedroom, and after the attic, that's the roof. The roof caved into the attic. The snow fell into his bed. Thank God he wasn't in the bed when it happened. But yeah, it fell into his bed. It's nuts out there. It's people.
I never
don't-
seen nothing like that before.
People don't have no. First of all, there's fires going
What
on.
is
fire
what is
hydrants
it?
are
What is
falling.
it that's causing it besides it just being cold and snow? And it's because they turned everybody's power off, right? It's the
Yeah,
pipes
and
burst.
apparently one company controls
Yeah, they have
90% of the power, which is a problem right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
because
have
if
to
they go
change-
down,
They have
Exactly.
They have their own power grid.
Yeah.
So
Not
They
many
ha-
states do, but Texas is one of them.
yeah,
I'm sure after this, things will change.
they have to.
and here's the thing. Things will
All that
change.
property loss.
Absolutely.
Property laws. Yo, bro. There's people who their electric bills have gone up $2,000 in 2 days. Just
I heard about something like that.
yeah,
Of course.
in 2 days, bro. Like, and the way the electric bills are set up are they're either at fixed rates or variables, right? So if you was in a fixed rate and you paid a high interest rate at that, before, and you're like, damn, I'm paying a high interest rate, you're in good shape right now, but eventually you're gonna end up paying because the customer always ends up paying back when they want to recoup that money. But the people who were in variable rates, bro, I'm talking about
But the-
family. I'm talking about like regular family with like low middle
That's crazy.
class.
Yeah, but they'll do something about that.
The governor,
'Cause
the governor
gonna
has
do
to.
something about
The
that?
governor,
government has to
to
do something.
That's a, you
Because
declare-
people-
I thought you meant the electrical company. They're
Nah,
not gonna
they-
lose that, but they're gonna get that. They're gonna get that
But
money.
they'll
they'll
get it, but they won't get it.
You can't tax. You can't.
They won't get it, like if you have a bill for $2,000 and you're usually paying a $200 bill,
You can't. You ain't. I'm not
No.
paying that.
no, you're going to say, no, I'm not doing that.
And then that's going to be multiplied because there's going to be
And then
thousands of
all
people saying,
the
"I'm not
bad
paying
press
that."
you would receive from that, people would shame you on social media. Like,
I agree.
so companies are very aware of that.
but
If a group of people come together and say you could get this 200, you ain't getting this. They're gonna say, all right, okay, because you're not getting that.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened, if I'm not mistaken, there was a cable company, and this lady said, "Hey, I'm going through a situation. I lost my job because of COVID," and they said her bill was like $1,200, but the company got so much flack from social media, they told her, "Oh, you know what? Don't worry about that bill.
Yeah, because it's not worth it.
It's not worth it." Exactly.
Yeah, it's not worth the. However,
Too much
they're gonna
bad
have to
publicity.
recoup that money, or there's gonna be a lot of lost jobs.
They're recouping some way, but they won't.
Somebody's gonna have to recoup that
Companies don't want bad press. They don't want that because it's not good for their bottom line.
Is
But
it,
there's no other
There are other
other
cable.
competition.
No, there are other cable companies.
I'm not talking about cable. I'm talking about electricity.
Oh
Out
well,
there, there's
that
no other
Texas.
competition.
That's going to change. That's going to change because that's a problem right there. When you have a monopoly, and you could do what you want, yeah, that's
they
a
did
problem.
whatever they wanted.
Exactly, but they're not going to. Once this all settles, they're not going to be able to do that again, because that's one company having too much power.
And they caused the problems.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they would have been, they were scared for the whole shit to get shut down. So it's like, shut these people shit off. And that's what caused.
And they said they were
everything to freeze
hours
and the place to
away.
burst.
Yeah.
Hours
Did you
away
see-
from
wait,
it
wait,
being
did
worse.
Did you hear about the who was it? Was it the mayor of a town? Who said,
Bro.
This nigga said, what did he say? He said, only the strong survive.
You're lazy. You want the government, the state to help you out. Do it
I
on your
know.
own.
Yeah.
And then he sent the tweet and then resigned immediately.
I think he knew he was going out with a bang.
But that's what I'm saying. He
Yeah.
immediately was like, you know what? Like, what kind of
I'm
like?
tired of this shit.
If you feel like people are lazy and they don't need nobody should help them, why would you run to be a politician for the people?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of dummy is he?
Well, maybe he wanted to go out. Some people are just thinking this is a good way to leave by saying something so idiotic.
There's a lot of idiots in
There are
politics.
a lot of idiots. Like I said.
There's a lot of idiots with power and platforms.
Oh, absolutely. It's very hard to teach class, though.
So let's talk about this, right?
Mhm.
Since you talk about the thing that popped up was sex, right?
Mhm.
And you are a single man, so you can have all the sex in the world you want to have.
Mm-hmm.
Have you always? First of all, first question is: have you always been single?
No.
I'm sorry. Have you ever been married?
I've been married before, yes.
So you've been married, and being single, and being able to have all this sex that you want to have. Do you ever want to just say, "Alright, I'm tired of having sex with all these different girls. I just want to have sex with one girl now. Just one. I want to settle down and just do it the right way."
All right, that's a good question. All right, I was married. Let me just go back a little bit. I was married. I dated a girl when I was 19. She was 21. I got married when I was 24. She was 26. I got divorced when I was 27. So she was 29 at the time. And the main reason I got divorced is because my ex-wife and I, we were not sexually compatible. If I want sex 5 times a week and she wants it once a week,
Wow. Yeah, that's
something's not going to work.
The numbers ain't adding up.
Numbers don't lie.
Plus 5 don't equal 2, baby.
Yeah, but being that I was in love and we had more sex when we dated than we were married, not all women,
Right.
but some women will manipulate you. And my ex-wife,
Just to get married.
yeah, a lot of women get caught up in the idea of marriage, and they don't know what it requires to stay married. And it was a learning experience, but nobody can teach you experience. And I don't regret getting married, but I know what I wouldn't do if I ever did get married again. You have to be sexually compatible. Very, very important.
How important is sex in a marriage to you on a scale of 0 to 100%?
100%. 100%.
100.
Well,
But I have a
so
top.
there's no room for compromise if it's at 100%. Like
No. But you have to be on the same page. Like, you have to be on the same page with a woman. If you want it like 4 or 5 times a week and she wants it 3 times, okay, you can compromise with that. But if she only wants it once a week and you want it 4 or 5, That's a problem.
Now, do you have a discussion prior to you? Obviously, you did have a discussion prior to you know, having a divorce.
And y'all married what? 4 years you were married?
3 years
3
we were
years?
married.
Okay.
Well, that's what I mean about the manipulation. When we dated, we had more sex when we dated than we were actually married. And that's because she lived in Long Island. I lived
That's a good question I'm gonna ask.
in Harlem. And when we got together, we had sex. But when you're with someone each and every day, the dynamics will change. And
See,
Is it,
I look at it-
whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Why does the sex life? I'm speaking I'm not a married man, so you're a married man,
Okay.
and I've heard you say some things before that lots of other married men have said the same. Why does the sex slow down once the like you could be like you said, you could have sex 5 times, 10 times a week. You get married.
I think it has to do a lot with the responsibility that you sign up for starts to become a lot more than you anticipate was going to be happening, right? So what I mean by that is, you know, when you get married, especially when you get married to someone and you don't have children with them, your next step is to either have a home or hopefully you have a home together, but you want to have children, right? And you obviously have children, even though you're not married, you have children, you have a child, and that is not easy, right? So you got someone going to work 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, and they come home, they take care of their child, they put their child to sleep, and they got about a couple of hours, not only just for you and the other person, but for themselves, right? So
What about my question is more like I feel like that's a pretty normal thing when you have little kids running around and stuff, but. There were no kids. But in Suave, in your marriage, there were no children involved, were there?
no children.
But the
no.
sex still stopped after the marriage.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to feel like what is it about marriage itself? Not the response to children and all of that. What is it about marriage itself?
Well, like I said, some women get caught up with the idea of marriage. When I got married, we had about 300 guests, and we had about 24 people in the wedding party. 12 groomsmen, 12 bridesmaids.
Okay.
So I think some women just get caught up with the idea of marriage. That's what I think. That's just my personal opinion.
But the idea of marriage is what? Just having the
The fairy tale,
ring,
the fairy tale wedding, the big wedding, the big honey. On our honeymoon, we went on a cruise.
Yeah. Here's how I look at it, though, Suave.
Are you gonna get married again? Is that in the cards for you again?
Well, I'm not sure because after experiencing relationships, and people have to realize just because you're in a relationship with someone, that doesn't mean you're going to marry the person. I think this country puts too much emphasis on marriage. Marriage isn't for everyone.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I joined a website like 3 weeks ago, and it's called Black Poly, where the guy you can date 2 women at the same time, and the women
black polygamy.
polygamy. Yes,
Okay.
yes, and everybody knows about each other, so it's based on honesty and trust.
So I think marriage. I think it's bigger than that for you. I think that even if she was just listening to what you just said, I think that if she would have met you at where you wanted her to be at, I think you would have yearned for something higher after you would have been complacent with that. So let's say she would have been giving you the goods 5 days a week like you requested, and then once that becomes the norm for you, you're gonna look for something to heighten that. And hold on, because of the poly thing, the fact that you're even willing to dibble and dabble into that world, that's a world that's like you have to really have a strong ability to detach yourself emotionally from someone, knowing that they have someone else out there that you're totally aware of, and they're substituting the time for you with them.
It depends on the person, though. Everybody.
Yeah, but
Right, that's
remember,
what I'm saying. You have to have that discipline within yourself to know, like, hey, I know I'm messing with this girl. I like her, and I know she's fucking with this other.
no, but that's just
Everybody
it.
doesn't
No.
care about most people care about that, but there's certain
But
I guarantee people that are on that website, they're not looking for like
Marriage.
Exclusivity. They're not looking for any kind of exclusivity.
Of course.
But there's a sector of people that they're not looking for no commitment. They wanna have multiple partners and everybody together, and there's nobody lying. There's no cheating because nobody's.
I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is, I think Suave standard that he was setting for his wife, and I'm not saying that I'm 100% right. This is your relationship and everything, right? But I'm just on the outside looking in. That I feel the fact that you're willing to go into that world, that you have a very broad imagination for your sexual life, right?
Absolutely.
And I believe it would go beyond, for your wife, it would have went beyond that 5 times a week, or it would have been like a higher standard set for her after that 5. So you would have been okay with 5, and for the rest of your life,
I would
5
have
was
been.
good.
See, that's another thing. I believe if you have filet mignon at home, why go out for hamburgers?
Right.
If my woman is taking care of me, I don't need anything
Everybody
else.
eats hamburgers, bro.
Yeah, but if not filet, what about filet mignon over hamburger?
I'm saying.
Oh,
Using your example.
Angelo Maxi's. Remember the league?
Oh, I
The
love
rest-
that. Oh my God!
the best
you took me
steakhouse,
there to go back
yes.
for the first time.
Yeah.
That was you. You took me there.
You had one of those steaks. You didn't need a burger. It was good.
bro.
You know, burgers are good eye candy. You can look. Okay, mama, I'm going home to my wife.
You make a good point, but everybody don't like steak every day.
I love steak.
I could eat steak.
If you know, I'm not.
Maybe not every day, but
everybody don't like steak every day.
I could eat shrimp every day.
No.
Shrimp.
But anyway.
Shrimp. I could eat
No,
shrimp every day.
so no, you don't. There was no kids in the coming. You don't. That's not something you want to.
You know,
do,
I got about 25 nieces and nephews, and if it's in the cards for me, great. If not, I'm okay with it.
You're open to it. You're not against it. You're not.
Not at all.
Yeah, okay.
Not at all.
Yeah.
If it's in God's plans, I leave it in God's hands.
All
If
right.
it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If not, I'm okay with that as well.
Our behind the scenes producer has a bone to pick with K-Suave.
Yes.
With K-Swizzy. So again,
Well, I don't even want to ask the question now.
set it up. What they was talking about?
Well, I was basically, as far as a G.O.A.T.
About what they was
About
what he
her
was
bone
saying and what she was saying. She was talking. You were
Yeah,
talking about
she-
how the expectations you have from a woman having sex life and shit like that. And our producer behind the scenes, Gloria, has a bone to pick with you. So you go ahead, Gloria. The floor is yours. Gloria's off camera, but she said, "You know what? I got some shit to say. So go for it."
A woman's point of view, love it. Yes, Gloria.
Well, I know for me personally, I dealt with that. I was the one who tried to have, multiple days a week. Not trying to be graphic.
Okay, wait. Multiple days a week. You mean 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 3 days?
3, 4.
And he wanted it what?
Once
Once a week.
a
So it
week.
goes both ways.
Absolutely.
It goes both ways.
Absolutely.
And considering that, I have a child, so like in my household, and in a lot of households, women carry the brunt of everything.
Absolutely.
I don't know how it is in your world, GC, but in other worlds, women carry the brunt.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it's well-known fact. It's been studied.
Mhm.
And they're saying,
We all agree with you.
I'm not here to disagree with anything.
We agree with you.
And especially now with COVID, mothers are working from home. I'm working from home, dealing with children, and of course, if you're married, like I'm not married anymore, but dealing with that, and then also having to, have your own
So are you?
sexual needs. And,
So are you? So that's what you're saying. Like being that you have all that.
Yeah.
That.
Like, I know for
burden.
me personally, like, I'm still like, all right, 3 days, 4 days, like,
What's going on?
This was with your husband?
with my ex-husband.
Your ex-husband. Well, there's a reason why he's your ex-husband.
Yeah, one of the many reasons.
So
Okay, so how long were you married?
10 years.
And how old is your child?
He's 6.
He's 6. Okay, so before you got married, when you and your boyfriend dated, how long did you date before you got married?
We dated for 3.5 years.
And in those 3.5 years, how was your sex life?
We only would meet up once a week.
What?
Because
The marriage.
What?
He already set the standard.
He already told you.
He already set the standard.
He already told you what it was.
I guess.
But
So it goes both ways.
So you thought after marriage that it was gonna heighten.
Of course, because you're living together and you're
Yes.
together all the time.
Yes,
Like,
that's what I thought.
So my thing was
So
it's
don't
not
make
a woman
assumptions.
thing and it's not a man thing. It's just a sex drive thing that got to match.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because there's some women, and I've met women who have very high sex drives. I've met women, that's why I say, like, there are the most important things to me. Like I say all the time, there are 5 most important things to me in a relationship. Trust, number 1, honesty, sex, number 3, number 4, communication. Now, people probably say, well, how can you have sex before communication?
Yeah.
And I can tell you why. Because I've met women I didn't even like. Their personality didn't like. But their sex was so good that I didn't even want them to talk. I didn't even want them to talk, but the sex was that good. But their personalities, what came out of their mouths.
That's not gonna work either.
That's not gonna work.
No. Mind you, I didn't have.
I've been there before. That's
No.
not even fun.
These girls would not be relationship material for me. They would just be a good time.
Right.
But the sex was so good. This one girl, she used to love
Here we go.
people to watch.
Here
She
we
would
go.
want to go to Central Park. She would have on a sundress.
Right.
And one day she just pulled me over to the bench and said, "Sit down." Telling me what to do. Okay. I sat down. She had on the sundress, and this girl's body, oh my God. Incredible body.
Incredible.
Incredible body.
Younger,
Big tits, big ass.
Younger,
Older woman.
older woman.
But her body.
What's the older?
When I was 18, I went to this club. I used to get in clubs when I was young. I met this lady, 36
65.
years old.
36. So 2 times older than you.
This girl, flashback. That's in my book. Her body was incredible.
Right.
I mean, we were at a reggae club in Brooklyn, and I'm there by myself, cause I can go out by myself and have a good time. So I'm there, and she's there with one of her girlfriends. So I'm dancing with her, and you know, reggae. They play that reggae music. She's backing it up on me.
Right.
Hello.
And one thing leads to another, buy a drink. And she said, "Oh, my girlfriend is bringing a friend of hers. We're gonna meet at we're going to my girlfriend's house. Right. You're coming with me."
Wow.
I said, "Oh, sure." So we go to the girlfriend's house. Now, mind you, it's like 3:00 in the morning. 3 in the morning, and I swear we had sex from like 3:30 until about 9 in the morning, maybe 9:30.
What do you mean?
Sex.
Pussy, like straight?
Straight.
Get the
Straight.
fuck out.
No
6
breaks.
hours?
No breaks.
Fuck out, bro.
No breaks.
Bro.
This woman was insatiable. And I loved it. Remember they say a man reaches a sexual peak at 18. I was 18 years old. She was 36. A woman reaches her peak, they said, between 35 to 40, and that. So it was a perfect match.
I was
6
watching a stand-up
hours,
about that.
Bro,
6 fucking hours.
that's
Man.
that's.
A flashback.
Are you
Yo.
sure you remember?
Just thinking about it,
What year was this?
I'm just thinking about it. I'm getting a hard
Bro.
on. Stop it! Stop it!
I was like,
How many orgasms?
Oh,
On
good
for-
question.
For
Woo.
both
I had
parties.
2.
so how is that straight?
So that's a
No, because
That's a break rate. Oh,
no,
what
no,
you
no.
just?
After you have the orgasm,
you went right back.
went right back. Put the condom back on. Put the condom. Remember, safer sex, put the condom back on, and went back in it. She lost count after about 12.
Okay,
Renee,
okay.
I love you, Renee. Now,
Okay.
I love you, Renee.
This nigga's stupid. This nigga said.
Gotta look her
She
up.
lost count after 12.
After 12,
Oh shit.
I put it on her. She put it on me too.
So all right. So what
Great
happened
sex.
to her? What happened?
Well, Renee, let me give you a backstory.
Okay.
Renee was actually separated from my husband.
What are we talking about? The 80s? The 90s? What are we talking about?
This was in the late 80s, early 90s, before I was married. Renee was separated from her husband. She had 6 kids. Her husband broke her jaw.
Oh, Lord.
And then she told me, she said, Kay, I don't give great head because my husband broke my jaw.
So,
I can still remember that.
I never heard no shit like
No,
that.
her husband had broken her jaw.
Yo.
Well,
I
she
almost
said-
walked off the set.
She said, I don't give good head because of that. I said, well, you doing her body was crazy. Tits,
That's
her ass was like, I love a woman who's got a big ass so I can put my head on it and go to sleep. Oh. That's a pillow.
all right.
She's a beautiful girl. She was a beautiful woman. She just
Wow. So
ended up with a bad dude.
you know.
I thought things would change.
Absolutely.
He was younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought,
Yeah.
things
So
would
wait,
be
hold on.
different.
You didn't get to his side. What happened? What was his? I know you had to have had a conversation like, "What's up? What's really
He
good?"
was always tired.
Oh, they
How,
tired.
how often does he work?
He works every day, but
Of course, we all.
And you
do.
worked every day too.
I worked every day too.
And how,
I don't care how tired I am.
Yeah, I've always I'm actually been asking my wife.
And wait,
I'm-
ladies,
Let's not.
you cooked every day.
I cooked
Alright,
every day.
let's not.
I cleaned every day.
Oh, Lord, you a good wife.
I took care of our son every day, put him to sleep, did the whole nighttime routine.
and
You were-
said,
He
oh.
never did any
I'm
of
ready.
that.
Ah.
I'm ready to get.
And he's tired.
I'm ready to
He's
get.
tired.
But ladies, if you want to please, I don't know about other guys, but me, ladies, what I love is when I'm sleeping at like 4 or 5 in the morning, you just sucking on me, sucking me off. Oh, Lord, that's a keeper.
Suave.
That's a keeper. A lot of girls aren't morning people, but if a girl does that,
Shit.
I have something called like a Shark Tank, where if you do something that I don't like, I'll throw you in.
Oh, you
And-
in the Shark Tank.
Yeah, you could be in 12 feet. I'm a good swimmer.
wait,
I'll
wait.
save you if you go 12 feet. You can be saved.
Back up a little
But
bit.
if you go 12,000 feet, you're not coming back. I'm not saving you.
Yo.
Wait.
And
Explain
I've
the
had
Shark
that.
Tank. The what?
Shark Tank. My Shark Tank is if you have a woman, let's say you're in a
You're
relationship.
referring to the show? What are you talking about? The
No,
show?
no. I'm referring to-
A tank, okay.
I'm referring to my Shark Tank.
Like a-
This is
okay.
what, remember, I'm cut from a different cloth.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, Santa Claus.
Yeah.
My Shark Tank is, let's say you're in a relationship and your woman does something you don't agree with. You put on like a timeout, throw her in the water, 12 feet though. But you'll get in the water and save her. Now, let's say you're dating a girl. Let me give you an example. I called this shorty, this was a year ago. I called this shorty, I said, let's go out for drinks. It's the new year, I haven't seen you. We went out for drinks. I took her to one of my favorite bars in Harlem. Can you promote the bar? No.
If you like it and you want to promote it,
I took her to Corner Social.
Okay.
Corner Social.
Corner Social in Harlem.
Social, yeah.
So we're at the bar. When I go to the bar, I'll give the bartender my card, like instead
Give
of
it time.
keep a tab going. So we had dinner, we having drinks. She's having a good time. I'm having a good time. So I go to the bathroom. When I come back from the bathroom, the bartender says, "Hey, kid, can I talk to you for a second?" I said, "Sure." He said, "Shorty, your shorty is trying to buy homeboy a drink on your tab."
Okay.
I said, wait, what? So being a gentleman that I am, I said, L, that's her name, L, may I talk to you? So we went outside, and I said, how you trying to buy another? I'm taking you out. how you trying to buy another man a drink on my tab? She says to me, oh, I was giving him my tab. You didn't give him a damn thing. She got thrown in the Shark Tank that night, never to be heard from again.
That's the 12,000
12,000 feet, never to be heard from again.
Yo, hold on.
And this girl's bad, too.
On top of
Bad
that
girl.
bullshit-ass Shark Tank,
Oh,
would you go into porn too?
would I go into porn?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't go into porn. Well,
That's a lot of money made. 6
No.
hours?
Well, I've
6 hours? That's a nigga that got 6 hours?
I've done my own porn.
That's a lot of money you
I've done my own.
It's a lot of. It's not that. I don't want that money.
I've done a lot of porn. I've done porn with my girlfriends. Like I've done videotapes that I to this day I have.
GC trying to get an OnlyFans page.
That's not porn. Porn is
You mean-
videotaping yourself and showing it to the public.
Oh, you mean that porn? That porn? No,
No, you can do amateur porn.
amateur. Yeah, there's
Okay,
it.
amateur porn.
No.
Right,
Amateur porn is lit.
Wait.
Yes, it
But
is.
I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying real porn. Like anybody videotapes themselves, that's not porn.
Not everyone.
Wait.
But there's different types
This
of porn.
sounds like the fucking DJ conversation
There-
all over
Hold
again.
on.
There's different types of porn.
Hold on. Let's keep it real.
It's like-
you telling me if you dating your girl and you videotape you and your girl having sex, that's porn?
Yes,
Yes, amateur porn.
it's porn
All
for
right.
yourself.
Yes,
For your- all right, for
yes.
yourself.
And I get
He
turned
always goes
on.
down these roads.
I get
Why
turned
does he
on by
go there?
watching myself with my late. Oh, I got some videos.
I
Lord, I got videos.
I'm not in opposition to what you're saying. Yes, I get it. But my perspective of porn is obviously showing your videos to the public. That's
No.
Oh yeah,
pornography.
yeah.
So it's not pornography
That's
before.
For profit.
For profit, there you go.
For profit.
All right, add that to
But
it.
if you're at home
Yeah, add that
with
to it.
whoever
Yes, you want a
and
videotape,
you're doing a video, that's porn.
That's
still
and you
porn.
know,
Of course
and
I
not
do.
only that,
Of course I
and
do.
not only that, it'll make your sex life better. Women love the camera. I had girls who love to take pictures. They love the camera.
sound. That sound.
Mm. You
Yeah.
want a lady to wake up?
Let me
Say we videotaping tonight. Ah, fellas, you videotaping.
Hey guys, podcast is over. We're done. No, we're not done. What you said?
Oh, you videotape. Women get excited about being videoed or having pictures taken. The juices get wet. Gloria, am I mistaken here?
Very true. Depending who's behind the camera.
Well, there's
Yo-
nobody behind the camera.
Wait,
It's the
wait,
camera
wait,
and
wait.
you. I mean, it's camera, you and the dude.
Yeah,
Nobody
like,
behind
Let her
like,
talk. Let her
who's
talk.
behind the camera?
Like,
Because-
who's your partner? You mean?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
But you can wait. You can also have a third party behind the camera.
That's true.
I'm just saying.
Are you King Dingling or your girls say, I want another nigga in there, you let another nigga jump in there?
Not after having me, they don't need any other. I'm King Dingaling. That's why I walk. That's why I walk. That's why I walk with a limp.
It's
No.
polyamorous.
I'm sorry.
That's
Po-
that's the website he was talking about.
Polyamorous. Yes.
And
So-
everyone in the community, they're understanding. of-
Exactly.
Right, so what I'm, right, and I
There's
get
no
that.
jealousy.
Exactly.
I get
And
it.
the thing is,
Uh-huh.
when a couple, meaning like three parties, are together, it's basically like everyone is understanding that two of those parties won't go behind the other one's back. Like they'll always do everything together.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
no
I
secrets.
know this because a coworker of my ex-husband was into that heavily.
Yeah.
And he told my ex-husband all these.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is it only a benefit to the man where the man has,
It's a benefit
to-
for all parties.
Hear what I'm asking.
It's not just for.
hear what I'm asking though. You see how the man, as you would more than likely choose to have two women, as opposed to a woman that said, what if I want to have two men?
They're
Does
women.
is that a part of that? Is that
Yes.
a part of that website and all that whole understanding as well?
Yes.
I mean, they have
So-
parties-
so
they have
hold on.
parties
So
in
you
hotels
okay
and
if she-
everything. It's not just a website.
So you okay if one of your homegirls say, I want you to fuck me with my homeboy?
If you're in that
Alright,
community,
I
you
gotta-
would be
I
cool
gotta-
with that.
I gotta-
Let me answer that question.
I got a story. I got another story to tell you guys. That just brought a flashback. I used to date this girl,
Let me get.
and we dated for a
Let
good
me out here. I'm gonna listen to this.
4 years. And a question I always like to ask women is, what is your fantasy? And her fantasy was to be with 2 men. So one day, I like surprises. So I said, man, I have to get a guy that I'm not too close to.
Absolutely.
So when I was working at Nautica, there was this guy.
Wait, what?
No.
What?
There was
You
this guy.
picked the guy? Wait a minute.
Listen.
Did you pick a man?
Listen.
Did you pick a man for a threesome?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
So there was a guy who worked in the same building as I did. I was on the 11th. I was on the 11th floor. He worked on the 6th floor. He worked for Time Warner.
What you doing?
It's called Spectrum now. Time Warner. Bro. So this guy, he said, "Yo," he says to me, he says, "K." He says to me, he says, "K."
But I'm not gay though.
He says to me, "K, I make extra money." I said, "You make extra money doing what besides working for Time Warner?" He said, "I also do adult videos." Wait, adult videos? He said, "Yeah, I work for Caesar Video."
And this is why you were looking for a guy to get on a threesome, and this guy was like,
just a coincidence.
Hey.
So he worked for Caesar Video, a place up in the Bronx. I think they still may be around. They're in the Bronx. They have studios, and he was one of the actors. So he gave me a couple of movies.
Not doing a porn in the Bronx.
He gave me a couple of movies, and one day my lady and I said, "What do you think of this video?"
You watched it,
I said, "What do you think of the video?" So she's looking at the video. I said, "That's my boy who works in the building where I work at." She said, "Really?"
I ain't never ever heard no niggas say.
She said,
"This
"Really?"
my boy that be fucking bitch.
So listen. Yeah. So remember, her fantasy was, now mind you, I was dating this girl for 4 years. Her fantasy
exclusively.
Exclusively.
She wasn't doing fucking with nobody. You wasn't fucking with nobody.
Remember, when I have filet mignon at home, I don't eat hamburgers.
No burgers.
So we were dating, but she was going to leave the state of New York. She got a promotion, and she was moving to another state. So I said, "You know what? I'm not moving with her." I said, I got an idea. Before she leaves, I'm going to make sure her fantasy comes true. Now, this is when I lived in Metro North. I told my boy, who was the porn star, I said, "Come through." So he comes through. He's on the terrace, and I told she's in the shower.
That's a bold move.
She's in the shower.
You do porn?
So she comes out of the shower. She comes into the bedroom, and we just talking. I'm not mentioning any names, but I said to her, "Remember what you said about you wanted to have a threesome?" I said, "Well, tonight's your lucky night." So I tell my boy, "Come out from the terrace."
He was on the terrace?
He was on the terrace.
They came up.
So she was shocked, like.
He was out there waiting.
And I told her, "This doesn't."
Dick hard, ready to go.
Was it cold? No, it was in the summertime. It was in the summertime. It wasn't cold. It wasn't cold. So he comes out, and I said, "Sweetheart, this doesn't happen unless you want it to happen." Because I fulfilled that fantasy with 2 women a few times. More than 3, but less than 7.
Just to set the record straight.
Exactly. So I said, "This is not about me. This is about you." Now, any man who does this for his woman, you must leave your ego at the door. You must leave your ego at the door. There can't be any jealousy.
You've been left that shit at the door.
Because I've been with 2 women.
There's zero ego.
That's another story where one of my girl I was dating, didn't leave her ego at the door. And her girlfriend, that's another story, wanted to come back down for seconds, but my homegirl had the chain on the door. She couldn't get in. And she said, "Kay, I tried coming back like 5 a.m. I said, "What happened?" She said, "Your homegirl put the chain on the door." I said, "Oh, Lord." Anyway, back to the story. So I told this is not about me. It's about you.
That moment she opened the door.
So I gave her some wine. She had a glass of wine. She relaxed.
His girl probably definitely heard that. The bitch that was in the room heard that.
She had some wine. She relaxed a little. I started eating a pussy, and it was on and popping from there.
So I just want to get into the real quick.
But you fellas, you gotta leave your ego at the door.
I don't want to, honestly, so this is what I was talking about when you mentioned earlier about your wife not meeting the standards of your 5 times a week, right? I feel like
minimum.
You have the fact that you would do something like that, like your imagination for that, your sexuality is far beyond the average man. So
I'm cut from a different cloth.
Fuck that cloth shit.
Go ahead.
This is the point of what I'm trying to tell you, that I feel like eventually, even if she would have lived up to that 5 times a week, you would have probably pulled some shit off of her, another woman, or let's do this. Which is not. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it at all. I'm not saying anything is wrong with it, but I'm saying that the way I know how you are, is no way a woman that couldn't match you at 5 times a week would even last it if she did.
That's a good point. That's why I tell my nieces and my nephews, don't get slutted up in your 20s. Slut it up in your 20s. For a woman, slut it up too. It's okay. But when a woman, I know it's different for a man and a woman because women have kids. But a man shouldn't think about marriage until he's at least 35.
Okay.
In your 20s, your early 30s, you do all those things. When you get married and you take those vows, you got to take them seriously. For a woman, the same thing. You're in college, don't have a boyfriend.
What makes 35?
Hold on.
Okay.
In your 20s, enjoy your life because you're not getting those years back. And then you won't have that curiosity. Oh, what would it be like to have a threesome? Like you never did that before. So do it while you're young. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you, man. Episode 3, Jack Moves Pod.
Bang.